Welcome to Table for One. I'm the narrator, and in this video, I'll do a solo playthrough of Anachrony using the Guardians of the Council expansion against the Chronossus. Let's get rolling. Alright, so I am all set up to play a solo game of Anachrony against the Chronossus using the Guardians of the Council module. And so this is the continuation of a series. This is a season of Anachrony for me where I'm playing through every single module accompanied with a rules video on how to play that module. So if you would like to watch a rules refresher video first to learn everything you need to know about the Guardians of the Council module that released today, I'll put a link in the description. And as has been the case in this series, I am also using the Neutronide Buildings module from the Future Imperfect expansion pack. I'm using Variable Anomalies from the Fractures of Time expansion, and I'm using the base game module Alternate Timeline, and I've got rules videos on all of those as well. But I have included as a solo objective the Guardians card up there, so if I have 2, 4, or 5 Guardians at the end of the game, I will gain 1, 2, or 4 victory points respectively. And then the second solo objective card can earn me victory points for my sum total of how far I can time travel back. And then the third solo objective card will give me victory points for the total number of occupied building spaces. So knowing that I need to occupy a lot of building spaces and in particular power plants, I've got the B side of the Path of Salvation here that I'm playing as, and what side is this? The A side of the evacuation board. So I will need to have 3 power plants in order to evacuate, and that'll earn me 3 victory points. And then I'll get another 3 victory points for every neutronium that I have at that time. And I've already taken my starting resources plus 1 water because I will be second player. And I have chosen as my leader Shepherd Karaticus. So during the regular action phase, I can take a free action to either gain 2 water and a paradox token, or I can spend 2 water to remove a paradox token. And then the Path of Salvation has a couple of, asymmetries here on the board. This one's really neat. Whenever I gain an anomaly, I don't have to place it in the leftmost spot. I can place it in any space, so that's pretty neat. The last few spaces on the time travel track here are worth 14, 16, and 20 victory points respectively, so that's worth a lot. I probably want to be doing some time traveling. I start a little bit higher on this morale track, but I believe it's more expensive to move up. And then I only have 2 free power-up hexes here. These 2 cost a energy core as normal, and these 2 cost any 1 standard resource, and then I lose 1 of each of those after the impact. And then, of course, I have my anomaly removal tile here. And because we're playing with the Guardians of the Council, which, obviously that board is here, we have to block off that World Council space. So that is not available during the game. And the super project for Era 1 is Welfare Society. You can send an admin there and spend a water to advance your morale track. And I think I probably would like to have that. And then for Era 2, the super project is an anti-gravity field. It just says when you take a construct action, spend 1 less standard resource. And that is each construct action. So, that might be a good one to get to because, between this objective and this one and needing at least 3 power plants like that could be super strong. So maybe I just aim to get that in the second era if I can. But I think that is it for setup. So let's start the game. And we're starting in Era 1. The preparation phase is done and there is no paradox phase in Era 1. So we go straight to power up and we're starting with Chronossus. And I usually use these Guardian exosuits for the Chronossus, but obviously cannot do that today. So I'm using these big Paladin purple exosuits from the Path of Unity. So Chronossus starts with 3 powered up suits. And then we'll draw 3 tokens from this bag. So we've got another suit. It's a powered up energy core, an exhausted energy core, and another exhausted energy core. So 1 exhausted one goes back in the bag. Everything else gets discarded. So 1 more suit for Chronossus. And now I'm going to power up, and I'll take at least the 2 free spots, but I suspect I'll want to do more than 2 things. So I'll put a suit here, which will cost me an energy core, and a suit here, and I will spend a gold. And then I gain 2 water, and now we go to the warp phase. And let's see, Chronossus is going to place first. Whether they place 0, 1, or 2, they will get no bonuses. If they place none, I can place 2 without a problem. If they place 1, I can place 1, but if I place a second, I'll get a paradox. If they place 2, I'll get a paradox, and then potentially increase my morale track. And I feel like I do want to try and use something because I want to time travel a lot and really push that track up if I can because it's so valuable for me. So let's go ahead and grab a neutronium. And now we'll roll and see how many warp tiles Chronossus is going to put down. 2. Oh boy, okay. Don't like that. I guess I should have placed another. Okay, so there's 1, 2 warp tiles for Chronossus, and I get my neutronium, but also 1 paradox. But I guess I won't have to roll for paradoxes next time, so that's not the end of the world, at least not until after the 4th era. Hey. So now we can start with the action rounds, and Chronossus is going first. So let's roll. 3. Okay, Chronossus is going to send a suit to the construct action and build a life support. And this one's 2 victory points, and this one is 1, so they will take this one and place it here and advance the token. Okay. Ooh, and there's a neutronide life support building, and that goes really well with my evacuation criteria. So I might want to try and get that maybe next era. And so I'm going to start off by sending a scientist to do a research action right here. And I'm going to try and get this breakthrough. So I'm going to set, what am I going to do? I'm going to set this to technology and then roll for the shape. Circle. Okay, not what I wanted, but that's okay. I can take the circle, and then I can get any square and still plan on getting that. It'll just take me another research action. So let's go back to Chronossus and roll. And we've got a 4. Okay, so Chronossus is going to construct again, and this is why I didn't construct on the last turn, because I didn't want Chronossus to take that 1 World Council space. But Chronossus is building a factory, and this is 1 victory point, and this is 3, so they're taking this one, which is also good, and I looked at that in advance because I want this one. So now we advance the 4 token, and it's back to me. So I'm going to take my engineer and go up here and spend 2 water. And now I am the first player. Great. And I'm going to build a factory. So that's going to cost me 1 titanium with my discount and 1 gold. And I'm taking this one. And that goes right there. And now, because I'm on the World Council space, I can also acquire one of these Guardian suits. And I think I will take this leftmost suit. So I have to spend 1 neutronium and 1 worker. So I'll take the scientist. And now this is my suit. It's in my supply. I can't use it yet, but I certainly will. So now we go back to Chronossus. Let's roll 4 again. So 2 victory points. So we'll place those up there and advance the 4 token. And now it's back to me, and I am surely going to take a well, maybe not yet. Maybe I'll activate slash motivate slash smack awake my administrator and then put them in a suit and go recruit. And I'll recruit a genius. Probably a good idea. And I'm going to gain an energy core for that. Okay, back to Chronossus. 5. So Chronossus will recruit, and they will take an admin, and they get 1 victory point. And that's always 1 victory point, regardless of who they recruit. So that was the 5. Let's advance it. And back to me again. And I'm going to put the genius in this suit and go to the mines. And I'm going to come down here and grab a titanium and a neutronium. Okay, and now Chronossus goes again. 5 again, so that is a breakthrough action, or a research action. I keep calling it breakthrough, it's research. And I'll just roll both of the dice. Question mark. Okay, microchip square. That's, okay. There you go. Not that it matters. And now I advance the 5 token, and my turn again. And I am sending my scientist here, and I gain 2 titanium. Okay, up to 4 titanium. Back to Chronossus, who has no suits. They rolled a 2. They would like to construct a power plant but have no suits, so they pass. Back to me. I have nothing else I can do, so I will pass as well. I'm choosing not to spend 2 water to remove the paradox, and I'm choosing not to gain a paradox to gain 2 water. I don't think I need to do either of those right now. So now we go to the cleanup phase. I'm going to recover all of this stuff and refill the mines and the recruit pool and advance the building stacks, reveal the next super project, and then we'll be ready to roll for paradoxes in Era 2. So stick with me, and here we go. All right, so I'm ready now for Era 2. The next super project is synthetic endorphins, which I really like. If your morale track goes down, you don't lose workers or any, you don't get any negative victory points either. So that might be something to grab too. And these super projects will help me more quickly fill up my board, obviously, for this over here, for that solo objective. So we're going to roll for paradoxes now, and I'm the first player, so I roll first, but I don't have any previous eras where I have the most tiles, so I don't have to roll at all. So just Chronossus is rolling now, and they get 1 paradox token. And now we go to the power-up phase, and I'm going to be first. And I'm going to start by powering up this Guardian for sure, and then another free exosuit here. And I'm going to power up 2 more suits, spending 1 energy core and 1 titanium. And so Chronossus powers... Oh, I need 2 water too. Hold on. 2 water. Okay. So Chronossus powers up next. They start with 3 suits, which I've already got out. They don't have any guardians. So there's an exhausted energy core, a powered energy core, and another exhausted energy core. So 1 exhausted one... Oh, geez. I got all sorts of stuff falling out. 1 exhausted one goes back in the bag. The other 2 get discarded. Chronossus gets another suit. So 4 suits for Chronossus there. And now we're in the warp phase. Again, I'll be placing first. The first 2 spaces are blank. The next one is reward, which, again, Chronossus always gets 2 victory points for every reward. And then the next one is lower morale track, but every penalty on that board is ignored by Chronossus. So I can't do much to affect Chronossus, except if I place 2 warp tokens, there's a high chance that Chronossus will gain some victory points. So I think I'm going to place just 1, and it's going to be this one to gain an engineer. And let's see what Chronossus does. 1. Okay, so they'll just be placing a warp tile and not getting any bonus, which is pretty good. So for mine, I've got to spend water, and then I gain an engineer. So let's place that on the first space, and then Chronossus's goes in the second space. All right, that was the warp phase, and now it's time for actions, and I can start. And I'm going to start by sending a scientist to go do a research action, and I'm going to set this die to a square and roll for the shape. Or roll for the symbol. I got the tech symbol. So there we go. Now it is Chronossus's turn, and they are going to... they're going to try and do a time travel action, and they will. They'll succeed. So they're going to take 1 of these warp tiles off of here, because that's the previous era with the most warp tokens, and that was a success. So they advance this track. Now we advance the 3, and this tile has the auto leap. So the Chronossus immediately takes this action as well. And so they're going to place a suit here because this space is available. So they become the first player. Fine. And then they gain the leftmost Guardian suit into their supply. I'll put it there. Let's mark it with a path marker. They pay no other cost. And then they advance the 3 token again. Okay, big turn for Chronossus. And it's back to me, and I will, of course, take an engineer and go here. And I'm going to construct this super project, so I have to spend a square and a circle, which I have for my breakthroughs, and then it's going to cost 4 titanium, but I sent an engineer, so it's only 3 titanium, so I spend all 3 of these. And then I must also lose an engineer, and I will do that with this engineer here. And that is a frequently overlooked rule. You can spend your tired workers when you have to spend a worker. You just can't take an active worker, and you can't use that to pay back like a worker you sent, back in time. Anyway, I get this super project now, and I'm going to place it down here on this lab section. So from now on, when I construct, it'll cost me 1 less standard resource of my choice. So I'm glad I was able to get that. I wouldn't mind trying to get that one next era too. Let's go ahead and roll now for Chronossus' turn. 3. Chronossus would like to construct a super project as well. Oh boy, things are happening. So Chronossus goes here, takes this construct spot, spends this breakthrough, and constructs a super project from the current or past era worth the most victory points. There's only one choice. That's this one. So there goes Welfare Society, 6 victory points, and advance the token. And now it's back to me again. And I'm going to wake up my tired workers. Let's get my admin and my scientist. And I'll put the admin in this suit, and I will go recruit a genius. So there's another genius because I'm really hurting for workers. And I will take an energy core as the recruitment bonus. And back to Chronossus now. Let's roll. 3. So Chronossus would like to remove an anomaly, but doesn't have any to remove. So that's going to be a failed action and 1 victory point. Okay, and I'm going to take my Guardian suit and go to this space here, which is going to cost 1 water. And now I will take a construct action as if I were a genius, so it's going to cost 1 less titanium. I'm going to build a life support, and the cost for that is 2 titanium. I get 1 discount for my genius, and then I get another discount for anti-gravity field. So it actually costs me nothing. And I'm going to take this Neutronide life support and place it right there. So that'll get me, when I send an admin there, they'll come back motivated, and it'll give me 2 water plus 2 water for every power plant I have, which by the end should be 3. So that would give me 8 water at that point, which is pretty nice. So back to Chronossus now. What is that? I can't see. A 4. Okay. Mines. Chronossus is going to the mines. They'll take this top spot and grab a uranium and then a gold. Now we advance the 4 token, grab the die. Back to me. I've got no more suits, but I still have workers and actions I can take. So we might as well, I don't know, send a scientist here, get a couple of titanium. That's as good a thing to do as any. Back to Chronossus. 4. All right, I had to look this up, so I don't remember what I was saying. I don't know if I was mid-sentence, but because Chronossus has a suit, what did I roll? A 4, wants to construct, but there are no construct places to go. In addition to gaining 1 victory point, they also discard 1 suit. That rule is in place, so the game doesn't just go on forever. And then we should still advance that token. Okay, back to me. I am going to send a genius here in place of an admin, and I gain 2 water. So that's a nice thing to do. And now it's back to Chronossus. We'll roll 4. Chronossus would like to recruit or research, but has no suits left, so now Chronossus passes. It's back to me, and I'm going to take this free action, I think. I think that it's supposed to be paired with a main action, but, whatever. I'm playing solo, and I could have paired it with the last action. It doesn't matter. I'm going to spend 2 water to remove a paradox token. And Chronossus has already passed. I will pass as well. So then we go to the cleanup phase, and I grab my Guardian from here, and it goes back into my supply. And then the Chronossus has 1 in their supply, so they will start when they're powering up suits in the next era. They will start with their Guardian. But I'll take care of all the cleanup stuff now, and then the preparation stuff for Era 3, and I will see you there. So here we go. All right, so we're at the beginning of Era 3 now, and the next super project is Temporal Tourism, and I want that too. I want all the super projects. But when I revealed the new building stacks, the next power plant is the Neutronide power plant, and I would really like to have that too. So I think I've got to construct a power plant this era, but I really want the synthetic endorphins as well if I can grab it. But I think the power plant may be more important. I may even try and build 2 power plants this time, so we'll see. But we start with the paradox phase, and Chronossus is first player, and they need to roll twice because we're tied for eras 1 and 2. So their first roll is 1. Their second roll is 1, so that's going to be their 3rd paradox. So they gain an anomaly, and I need to roll second, and I need to roll twice as well. So I rolled, oh, that's a 1. Okay, I thought that was a 2. 1 and a 1. Okay, that's why I paid to remove a paradox last time. So I don't get an anomaly. All right, so these are both the exact same anomaly, so they're going to take it from the secondary stack. It goes there, and this one does allow them to remove a warp tile from the previous era with the most tiles furthest back if tied. And now we go to the power up phase. And so again, Chronossus starts with 3, and the first suit that they power up is their Guardian. So now let's draw 3 tokens. We've got an exhausted energy core, another exhausted energy core, 3, oh boy, that's not good. 3 exhausted energy cores. They don't power up any more suits, but only 1 goes back in the bag and 2 more are gone. So much higher ratio of powered up cores in that bag now. And I'm going next. I'm going to take this suit and this suit, which are free. Oh, and definitely my Guardian. Let's pay power core for that. And let's pay another power core for a 4th suit. Do I want to go for a 5th? Yeah, I think I will. I'm going to spend a titanium, which is really my only option to get a 5th suit. Now I gain 1 water. And now we go into the warp phase. And Chronossus will place first, but I need to decide. Let's see, if I place, obviously, no warp tiles, I get nothing. If I place 1, there's a 2 out of 3 chance that I'll get a paradox, and that'll lead to an anomaly right away. And if I place 2 warp tiles, there's a 5 out of 6 chance I gain that anomaly, but there's a 1 in 6 chance that I get that double, which would be nice. And since chances are I'll probably get the anomaly anyway, let's go for it, I say. Let's do a scientist and 2 water. And now we'll roll for Chronossus. Come on, 2. 1. Okay, that's fine. So 1 goes there. I got to pay 1 water to get the scientist, and I can use from this 2 water. So I just grab 1 water and 1 scientist. Water, scientist, and I get a paradox, which is immediately going to give me an anomaly. And I'll take this one. And I can place it anywhere because I'm playing as Path of Salvation on the B side. And where do I think I won't need it? Let's put it all the way to the right here in the life support stack. And now I can remove 1 warp tile. And I may as well grab that one, my neutronium from the furthest back era. Okay, and now we go into the action rounds. And Chronossus goes first. And we're rolling a 2. Chronossus is building a power plant. Then when Chronossus places suits, they place the Guardians last. So they're going here and taking, this one is worth 1 and this one is worth 3. So they're taking the one that is worth more victory points, and luckily I wanted the other one. So now we advance the 2 token, grab the die back to me, and there's like a 50-50 chance that Chronossus will construct again next time. So I don't think I want to construct now, because then we'll have a pretty good shot at getting that World Council space, and I would like to get another Guardian. So here's what I'll do. I'll take a Genius and put them in a suit, and I will recruit another Genius, and I will gain a power core for that. And now Chronossus can go 4. Yep, so Chronossus would like to recruit a Genius, and they can't now because I took them. So take that. So now they're going to do a breakthrough action. They're going to go here, and we'll roll these. And we got Society Circle. So there's a breakthrough for Chronossus. And advance the 4 token. And I guess I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to send a scientist to do a breakthrough as well. That space will cost me a water. And I'm going to set this to genetics and hope that I roll a triangle. Circle, ouch. Okay, I got to figure out how to deal with that. But Chronossus is up now. And they've rolled a 3, so they're going to use their Guardian to construct life support. These are both worth 1 victory point, so we'll take the one off the secondary stack. That's their second life support. Advance the 3 token, and now it's back to me. And Chronossus is out of suits, and I'm going to hold off on going to that World Council space, because I think that could prevent Chronossus from gaining another Guardian if they roll a 3. So I got to do something else. Oh, and you know what? I'll take my Guardian, and I'll go to my special spot there and spend a water. And I will construct this power plant. So it's as if I sent a Genius, so I get a 1 titanium discount, and then this gives me another titanium discount. So I need to spend a neutronium and a water, and that's all. And so now I've got my first power plant. Now Chronossus goes. 3. All right, so time travel action. Yeah, so they're going to take this warp tile back and advance on the time travel track. And now they advance a 3 token, and they perform this action immediately, but I don't think they can perform it because the World Council space is still open. So that means they would need to send a suit, but they don't have a suit. And then the rules say if the World Council space is not open, then they spend a worker. But they don't meet either of those criteria, so it's a failed action. So Chronossus just gains a victory point and advances the token. Good for me, because now I can get a Guardian. But before I do that, I will send a Genius here, and I gain 2 water, plus another 2 water for my other power plant. So that's 4 water for me. Great. Chronossus goes. This should be a pass, no matter what. 4. They would like to construct a factory. They have no suits. Chronossus passes. Now it's just me. And I'm going to take a Genius, put them in this suit, and go to the World Council space. That costs me 2 water. And now I become the first player, which was really important. Going into the next era, I needed to be first player for next era for this. And now I can either take the breakthrough action or the construct action. Oh man, there's so many things I want to construct. Boy, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to actually construct a power plant. So that's here. So that's going to cost me 2 water and a neutronium. And then I get a 1 titanium discount for the Genius and another titanium discount for the anti-gravity field. So I'm going to take this power plant here, which is super cool, send a scientist and spend a water. You can time travel back twice at range 3. And so now my total range is 3 and 3 and 1. That's 7, which is really good for that scoring criteria. So I've passed the first criteria. If I can get another time travel, and in fact, if I could just grab this one, that would push me beyond that limit of 10 and get me the full points for that scoring objective. So that'd be great. But now that I've done that, I can also get a Guardian if I like. And in fact, I do like. So I will do this one. I will spend my 4 water. And I don't have to go from left to right, but I'm just choosing to do that. And now I've got to get rid of a worker. And I think it's got to be this admin. And now I gain another Guardian to my supply. And let's mark it with my path marker. That's really great. That feels pretty good. And Chronossus has already passed, so I can keep going. I've got 1 more suit. I've got plenty of board actions. So let me activate my workers, like so. Okay, and now I'll send a scientist here, and I can time travel back up to 1 era. And for every power plant I have, and I've got 2 of them, I gain 1 victory point. So that's 2 victory points for me. Finally, I'm on the board. And while I'm in this era, I'm going to pay back this motivated engineer. So that warp tile comes back, and I advance on the time travel track for the first time. I'm going to need to do that a lot more, but that should be very doable and lucrative, really. But now I've got this suit that I kind of paid for, so I feel like I should use it. But my scientist cannot recruit, unfortunately. So I can either gain water at the purifier, I can trade with the nomads, or I can go to the mines if I'm going to use a suit. Or I can always send the scientist here and they'll come back motivated and I get 2 titanium, which is not a bad option either. It's too bad because I'd really like to have them do another breakthrough, but I'm not seeing a way to do that. So let's go back here and let's grab 4 water. That's probably a good idea. I wouldn't mind starting the next era with some water. Okay. So at this point now, I think I've got a pass for this era. I would still really like to get this, whatever it's called, super project. I would also very much like this factory, and I've got to get 1 more power plant, ideally this one. And if I were to get all that stuff, I'd have to get rid of this anomaly. I should have placed it here on the lab spot, but didn't for whatever reason. Because if I do another super project, I want it there, not, obviously can't go there, and if I want another factory, I can't put it on that space either. So okay, that's all stuff for me to think about, but my Guardian comes back to my staging area, and so does Chronossus's, and they will power up this Guardian first. So now I'll do the rest of the cleanup and then the preparation phase, and then we will be in Era 4, so I will see you there. All right, so I'm all set for Era 4. Revealed the next super project, and when you know it, it's uranium cores, which is the rulebook example for how to combine that with Guardians. So that is a nice one to have, but I think my focus is still on synthetic endorphins. If I can get this power plant I won't need temporal tourism. So I've kind of lost interest in that one. So I wouldn't mind taking some time travel actions back to here to build this super project, pay back those 2 warp tiles to advance my time travel track, but it's going to take some work to get there. So where are we? We're at the paradox phase, and I need to roll once, and Chronossus does not roll at all. But luckily, I have no paradoxes at the moment. All right, so now I've got 1. That's okay. And now we go to the power-up phase, and I'm first. So I will definitely power up these 2 guardians. That's great. All right, I'm just going to power up as much as possible, too. I'm going to spend 2 energy cores and a titanium. So this may be ill-advised. We shall see. And now we go to Chronossus, who starts with 3. They've already powered up their guardian. We've got a powered-up energy core. Probably going to have a lot. Second powered-up core. And a third powered-up core. Oh, my goodness. So all of these get discarded. And this is going to be a very busy, full era. I can't even see them all. Okay. I gain a water. Let's not forget that. Now we go to the warp phase, and I am first player. And that was super important because I'm going to place 2 and guarantee that I get that double spot. And I think I'm going to put 2 neutronium on that spot. So what else do I want to get? I think 1... Oh, man. Titanium will be really easy to pay back. But yeah, okay, we'll do that. We'll do a titanium and a neutronium. Now let's roll for Chronossus, who will play second. 1 warp tile. That'll be the victory point 1, so they will gain 2 victory points for that. So here's my titanium, my 2 neutronium, and here's 1 warp tile and 2 victory points for Chronossus. And now it's time for action rounds, and I start. Boy, I've got some stuff I want to do. And I'm going to start out by, man, do I go to the mines or do I construct? I think I construct. I really want to do that. So I go here, and I get a 1 titanium discount, plus another discount from my anti-gravity field. I'm constructing a power plant. So basically no neutronium, but I spend 2 water. No titanium. I spend 2 water and my 2 neutronium, and I'm going to take this one, which was at danger of being taken by Chronossus. So I get that now. So both my neutronide buildings just got more powerful. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I don't remember what I was saying, but now I've reached the 3rd tier of that solo objective right there, and I am meeting my evacuation criteria now. So that's all good stuff. So even though there are other things I want to do, I think that was well worth it. So now Chronossus can go. And they've rolled a 4, so they're going to construct a factory, and that's okay. So they're going to go here, and this factory is worth 2. This one's worth 1, so they'll take the one that's worth more, and I want the other one, so I'm fine with that. And advance the 4 token back to me, and I'm going to have to wake some people up. Here we go. I need pilots for these suits, at least for some of them. Ooh, but that next factory is really appealing. Do I want that one rather than this one? Oh boy, I think I've got to do the breakthrough action. I really need to do that. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to set this to square, I suppose, and roll for the symbol. What did I get? Society square, okay. Okay, now back to Chronossus. What is that? A 4. That's just 2 victory points. And then advance the token. And we'll take back these 3, replace them with a 5. Okay, I'm just trying to figure out. I think I can do this. I think I can do the things I want to do. I'm going to send a genius to the mines now and grab a uranium and a neutronium. I hope that proves to be wise. So now it's back to Chronossus. We've got a 3. Yep, so they're going to spend... Well, first they're going to go here and become first player, and I'm really okay with that. I allowed it. They're going to spend this breakthrough to gain the super project in the current or past era worth the most victory points, and that's this one. I checked that earlier to make sure that that wasn't a risk. And now we advance the token. All right, that is a lot of points for them, but I think I'm going to be okay. Ooh, but I am running out of workers, and that's going to be a problem. Well, shoot. Okay, I'm going to take a guardian and go here and recruit a genius. And I will gain an energy core, I think is what I want. Oh boy, this is going to be close. Okay, Chronossus is next. Chronossus has 1,000 suits left. They rolled a 5, so they want to construct, but there are no construct spaces left. They have to send their guardian here to take the construct action. And they are building a power plant, and this one is worth 3 victory points. The other one is worth 1. So I'll take that one, move the 5 token up to here, and back to me, and I will send a genius here, and I gain 2 water plus 2, 4, 6. I gain 8 water. I really need that. That's a good amount of water, so... Okay, that opens up some possibilities. Chronossus now goes 4. They're going to the mines, and they would they're going to go here. They're going to get a gold and a titanium. And then we advance the 4 token to here. And now it's back to me. And this is not really how I want to do this, but I'm going to send a scientist here to remove an anomaly, and I'm going to get rid of a neutronium and a water. So this anomaly is gone. I should have placed it in a different row, and I wouldn't have had such a hard time. And then I will lose the scientist during the cleanup phase. Back to Chronossus. 2. Going back to the mines again. And they're going to take this titanium and a uranium. That is a lot of resources. And advance the 2 token to here. Back to me. And I'm sending a scientist here to time travel back up to 1 era. So I'm going to this era. And I gain 1 victory point for every power plant I have. So 3 victory points. So I'll take these 2, replace them with a 5. And now I'm going to pay back this to water. Get my warp tile, and that is a successful time travel action. So now we're going back to Chronossus, who rolls a 5, gains a energy core. Okay, back in the bag, advance the 5 token, grab the die, and now I can send my guardian to one of these spaces. I spend a water, and now I can construct, and I'm going to construct this super project. So from a breakthrough perspective, that's going to cost a circle and a square, which I have, and then 3 titanium, but this counts as a genius, so 2 titanium, and then I have this super project, so 1 titanium, and 3 water, and a scientist. And now my morale track can go as low as I want. So I'm going to place this here. So I think I'm getting enough water, and I would like more factories. So I'm definitely done with super projects now, but that was a pretty good turn. Chronossus gets to go again. 3. So that's remove an anomaly. So they're going to pay... what would they do in this scenario? I guess they would pay 1 titanium and 1 gold. And now that anomaly is gone. So we've both removed an anomaly this time. And it's back to me. I don't have any more workers, but I'm gonna do this again. I could have taken this free action last time, so I'll just take it now. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna spend 2 water to remove this paradox. And I can't do anything else, so we'll just pass and let Chronossus keep going. I like it when Chronossus passes and I keep going. I don't like to let Chronossus just keep taking turns. 3. They would like to construct, but there's no construct space available, at least not with that... not that they can get to. So they get a victory point, and they discard this suit. So failed action, and now we're going to roll again. 3. Oh, I really didn't want that to happen. Okay, so time traveler, going to take this warp tile back. Oh, that's 1 less roll for them. That's a successful time travel. And then they advance to here. And now that space is occupied. So as I read the rules, even though they don't have a suit, because that space is occupied, they just pay a worker. And then gain another guardian to their supply. So that space is Chronossus's now. Didn't want to see that happen. Okay, roll again. 3 again, and they would like to construct but have no suit. So now Chronossus passes. So we go to the cleanup phase. This is Era 4, so we are going to have the impact happen now. So I will do cleanup phase, including all the impact stuff, and then preparation for Era 5. And I will see you in the paradox phase then. Here we go. All right, so I'm ready for the paradox phase of Era 5. We are post-impact, so we've got our extra neutronium here. We've got our collapsing capital tiles out. None of the collapsing capital tiles are really that appealing to me, except for this one here to get an extra suit could be nice. It's not looking like I'm going to score super well for my evacuation, so I don't know if it would be better for me to try and end it quickly because I'm doing pretty well on the solo objectives, or if I would be better off trying to push it another era and seeing if I can get a little bit more neutronium to help with my scoring. I don't know. We'll see. But time to roll for paradoxes. Unfortunately, Chronossus does not have to roll at all, but I'm going to have to roll twice. So let's get those out of the way. Oh, and there's a double. That's not the way you want to start. And there we go. I get an anomaly. Don't love that. So I'll take this one because this one allows me to remove a warp tile. And again, because I am on the B side of Path of Salvation, I can place it here instead of the leftmost space. And so I will take this neutronium one back. I would really like to have that back. So, okay, that helps a little, I guess. And now we go to power up. Chronossus is first. They draw 3 tokens, but there's only 2 left in the bag. Pretty confident. Yep. A powered core and an unpowered core. So the exhausted core goes back in the bag, and Chronossus gets 1 more suit, but they do have 2 guardians, of course. And now I've got my 2 guardians here. 2 spaces are blocked. I could power up the other 2 in theory, but I think I'll go with 1. I'm going to spend this energy core and gain a 3rd suit here. So now we go to the warp phase, and I really wanted Chronossus to be first player, and it is the first player, which is good. Because I don't care about low morale anymore, so I don't mind getting this spot. Chronossus will probably place 1, maybe 2. As long as I don't place 0, I will get this double spot, and I will do double neutronium again, I suppose. And I think I'll gain some water, because if this does go another era, that is something that I think I can easily pay back. And I'd like to keep the time travel going. So let's roll and see how many warp tiles Chronossus will place. 1, okay, so that goes here, and instead of raising a morale track, they just get 2 victory points. And now I place my 2, I'll get 2 water, and I have to decrease my morale, doesn't bother me. And now I get 2 neutronium, because I do score for having neutronium when I evacuate, so I'm really trying to maximize that. So, okay, now we've warped, we go to actions. Chronossus is first. Let's roll. 4. Chronossus will construct a lab, and they'll take this top space, which I didn't really care much about. This one's worth 2, this one's worth 3. Their first lab, believe it or not. That was a 4, so now this goes up to here. And it's my turn. And let's start with this free action to wake everybody up. And that'll lower my morale, and that doesn't matter to me at all. So how many people do I even have here? 1, 2, 3, 4 geniuses and a scientist. Well, I'm going to send a genius to the mines and grab whatever this is. What am I going to grab? I'm going to grab... where am I going? Yeah, we'll grab a titanium and a neutronium. Okay, that was a real thinker. What do we got? A 4 again. So Chronossus would like to recruit a genius, but there's not one. So they will do a breakthrough action, ignoring the bonus on the tile. And they're going to grab what? A society square. There you go, square society breakthrough. Good job, Chronossus. Back to me, advancing the token, and I will construct with my guardian as if I had sent a genius, and I'm going to build the next factory. So I get a 1 titanium discount plus another resource discount, which I'll use for the gold. So it's going to cost me a titanium and 2 water. And I'm taking this factory here. Okay, and now we go back to Chronossus. 5, so they would like to recruit. Okay, so they're going to come here and recruit, looks like an engineer, and they get 2 victory points for that. So we'll make change and advance the token. I feel like I'm not doing so good this game. We'll see. But for now, I will take a genius, I think, yeah, and go here and get 2 titanium. And Chronossus goes now. 4 construct action. They got no suits, so Chronossus passes, and now it's just going to be me a bunch of times. And so I'll send a genius here and get 8 water. So here's 8 water, and I'll just keep going. I actually have a method to my madness. I don't want to waste that suit, so I'm going to send a guardian here and spend a water to take a recruit action that way. And I'd really rather get the energy core, but I need the scientist. I need the actual scientist. So I get 2 water for that. And now I will send a genius here. I think, yeah, I really want to do that. I'm going to spend a uranium and a water to get another neutronium. There we go. Now I'm starting to get some neutronium. I can get some points that way. Man, I hate to not take the opportunity to get the victory points here, but I kind of want to time travel twice. But you know what? It's going another era either way, so we'll be okay. Okay, so I'll put the scientist here. I'll just go back 1 era, and I gain 1 victory point for each of those power plants. So 3 victory points. Yeah, this is the right way to do it. And now I will pay back that titanium, and that's a successful time travel action for me, so I get to move up this track 1 time. I've got more than enough ways to time travel back to their next era. So I'm going to pass at the end of this era too. So we're going to go into era 6. I'll do the cleanup stuff and then the preparation stuff, and we'll be ready for paradoxes again. Here we go. All right, and I am ready for era 6 now. We are in the paradox phase. Chronossus is first player and needs to roll 1 time. So let's roll for paradoxes. Blank, that figures. I've got to roll 2 times. 1 paradox. Come on, come on, come on. Blank. Oh, that's pretty good. All right, I'm in good shape then. So now we're powering up. Chronossus has its 2 guardians, and I draw from the bag, and it's just the 1 exhausted core that's left. So that goes back in the bag. Chronossus gets no more suits, and I can determine if I want to power up anymore. I don't have any energy cores, so my only option is to spend this 1 titanium to power up. Do I want to do that? Yeah, and I think I will. Resources are a little tight. I think I regret it already, but there you go. So now I get 1 water, which I'm actually in really good shape water-wise. I wish that was one of the endgame goals. And now it's time for the warp phase, and it only makes sense for me to warp in 2 things to ensure that I get 1 victory point, especially considering that I don't care if my morale track goes down. Oh, and you know what I could use, if anything, is more workers. So let's get 2 more workers, I think, an admin and an engineer. Yeah, that's what I'll do. And let's check for Chronossus. 1. 0 would have been my preference because now they get 2 victory points. It's always their bonus, no matter what's printed. But now I spend 2 water and get a victory point in addition to each of those workers. And I'm sure I can find something for these good folks to do. Okay, we're ready for the action rounds in what will surely be the final era. And Chronossus is going to start us off with a 5. That is a breakthrough. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely going to be the last era. So let's roll for the breakthrough. And we've got Circle and Society. There you go. And advance the 5 token. And now it is to me. And I will send a Guardian here. And I will gain an admin. Oh yeah, you know what? I won't send a Guardian. I'll put an admin in a suit. And gain an admin. And that gains me a victory point in addition to another suit, because that was the bonus under here. I really wanted that. So this is definitely the last era because all of the capital tiles have collapsed or will during the cleanup phase. So Chronossus is next now. We rolled a 4, so they would like to construct a power plant, and they can do that. So we're going to go here. And this one's worth 2 victory points. The other was worth 1. So that is their 3rd power plant. Advance the 4 token. Oh, wait. 4? That's not a power plant. What am I doing? 4 is a factory. So these are both worth 2 victory points. They take from the secondary stack. Okay, that is their 3rd factory, though. So now we advance that token. And it's to me. And I'm taking this engineer, putting him in a suit, going here to grab a uranium and a neutronium. There we go. And to Chronossus now. What is that, a 3? 3, okay. They would like to build a super project. Yeah, I was a little afraid of that. Oh, but they don't have any suits. So Chronossus passes. That's good. That was going to be a decent amount of points. All right, so now it's just me. Let's make the most of the turns I have left. Let's start with a free action to wake up these workers here. I don't know if I need them or not, but let's have them ready. And I don't have to lose a worker because of synthetic endorphins. And now I'll send a genius here. I'll spend a uranium and a water to gain another neutronium. Oh, and a victory point. Did I give myself a victory point last time? I don't know. I think I might have forgotten, but I don't remember, so I won't do it now. If it's tied or if I lose by 1 point, then I'll go cry about it on my own. But I can keep going now because Chronossus has passed. So I will send a genius here in place of a scientist and spend a water to time travel up to 3 eras back twice. So let's go 1, 2, 3, and then pay back this scientist from the motivated column to get this warp tile back. So that's a time travel action. And now up to 3 eras back a second time, we'll go 1, and I will spend 2 water to gain that warp tile back. And that is another time travel action. I get up to the 12 space there. And now is going to be the time to go to the capital and take the evacuation action. So I have 3 power plants. That'll get me 3 victory points. And then I get 3 victory points for each of these neutronium, and I've got 6 of them. So it's going to be a grand total of 21 points for evacuating. Not a record by any stretch, but it's something. It's better than I thought it was going to be. So now that I've done that, I will place a scientist here to time travel back up to 1 era from the present era. So I go back to here. I gain 1 victory point for each power plant I have. There we go. And now I'm going to pay back this neutronium and get this back. And even though that is a double space, you only have to pay back 1. So now I go up 1 more time on the time travel track. So I didn't quite maximize it like I wanted to, but I got it pretty high. And now I will also take a genius, put them here, spend a neutronium and a water to get rid of the anomaly. So we flip that over. All right. Oh, and you know what? I can get a couple more points this way now. I'm going to take this suit and send it here. So I need to spend a water. And now I'm going to construct here. So that costs me 1 neutronium, and then it counts as a genius, so -1 titanium, and then anti-gravity field minus another titanium, and 2 more water. So now I can get another lab just for the points. They're both worth 2, so I want this one. Place that lab there, because now I can send my genius there as a scientist. I will lose my genius for this, but I gain 2 water and 2 victory points. Mostly interested in the victory points. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll also take 3 of them, replace them with a 5. There we go. And I think that is going to be it. So let's move now into the scoring phase. And I only have to do 1 part of cleanup first. So, obviously, like I would lose some geniuses. That's not going to matter for scoring. The only thing that's going to matter is I've got this admin here, and this engineer would come back from the mines motivated. So then we untangle the continuum, and I can pay back both the admin and the engineer to get these warp tiles off of the timeline, so I don't lose points for those. My Anachrony, or my Voidfall influence trackers, I'm going to use to score up the points here. So I'll use yellow for Chronossus, and the pink is kind of close to the red of the path of, who the heck am I, Salvation. So let's start with me, I think. And let's look here on the time travel track. I get 14. That's a good place to start. 14. Morale track, I don't have to lose anything because of synthetic endorphins, so that's super nice. Now let's start adding up the buildings. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 for power plants, so that gets me to 16. I've got 3 for factories, that gets me to 19. I've got 1 and 5 on that track, so that's another 6. That'll get me to 25. And I have 6 and 2, so that'll get me to 33. Now we add up, let's see, I don't have any breakthroughs, no points for that. Add up my victory points. I've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 36, 39, 49, 59, 69, and then the goals up top. So I had 2 Guardians, so that's enough for the first spot. So that gets me up to 70. The second goal, what is my total time travel again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I get all 4 points for that one. That's nice. 74. And then how many spots do I get? That's 8, 10, or 12 occupied spaces. And I've got 11 out of those 12. So that's going to be 2 points. So I'm at 76. I believe that is it for me. That's a pretty decent score. Let's see how Chronossus did. I always have a really hard time judging where I'm at in relation to Chronossus. So they don't do those end game victory points. They don't lose any points for these warp tiles. So their time travel track is at 6 points. So they're starting at 6. They have no morale track. We can do breakthroughs. There's just 2 breakthroughs, so 2 points for that. And let's start adding up these buildings. So they've got 6 and 6 for their super projects, 3 and 3 for power plants, 3, 2, and 2 for factories, 2 and 1 for life support, and 1 lab at 3, and then no anomalies. So 12 points gets them up to 20 for the super projects. Another 6 gets them up to 26 for power plants. Factories are going to be another, let's see, that gets them up to 34. And then 3 more, 37 for life support. 3 more gets them to 40 for labs. And then count up the victory points. We got 5, 10, 15, 16, 17. Gets them up to 57. Is there anything else I need to account for? Don't think so. I think that's it. So I think narrator wins 76 to 57. So I'm on a pretty good streak. I was worried going into this one because the rules explicitly state that for a solo game or any 2-player game, you need to get rid of that World Council tile or, hex space. And I know that that tends to increase the difficulty. So I thought this was going to be a little bit closer, and I wasn't real confident playing with the Path of Salvation, especially with Shepherd Karaticus. I barely used that action, but I think the times I did use it, I used it pretty effectively. So still, I'm no pro, but I feel like I'm getting better at the game. I'm starting to put together just a little bit of the deeper strategy of it, and it's a lot of fun. Anachrony is just fantastic game, so happy to play a bunch of it. So in a couple more weeks, I'll do another rules refresher and playthrough, and I'm moving into the Future Imperfect box. And there is the Hypersync Future Actions module and also the Quantum Loops module. And my question for you is, should I combine both of those into a single playthrough, or should I just focus on them one at a time and do Hypersync one week and then do Quantum Loops another week? I'm kind of on the fence whether or not those are too big to be combinable or not, because I do kind of want to be able to showcase the stuff that you can do. If I add in too many new things at once, it's hard to focus on both of them, but you can let me know in the comments. Otherwise, if you're still here, feel free to click the subscribe button so you don't miss any other content like this. And if this is something you enjoyed, which I imagine you did if you watched this whole video, then click the like button to let me know. And again, you can always share this with somebody else who you think might like it. And as always, I don't promote it enough, but you can visit my Ko-fi page if you're really into it. That's ko-fi. There's a link in the description. And it's kind of like Patreon, except I don't have anything behind a paywall. I don't have any locked content or early content. Everything is free to everybody. But if you want to throw me a couple bucks, that would be very much appreciated. It'd be super helpful, and I'll make sure to specifically call you out in my my channel updates, which again are every January and July. I know a few people have done that recently, and I really appreciate it. Just thank you very much. But that is it for this week. I had a great time. I hope you did too. Again, let me know about combining Hypersync and Quantum Loops, what you'd like to see, and that'll be coming out probably in a couple weeks. And until then, I hope you're doing well. I hope you had an awesome time, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching Table from One. Take it easy.